Round 2 goes tonight, and if Game 1 between the Leafs and the Panthers was any indication tonight, it should be explosive. Joining us now to break down some of the key storylines, Sportsnet's Donnovan Bennett. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, glad to be here. Exciting times.
Oh boy. All right. Let's go back to Game 1. Right out of the gates, these Leafs, they were something else. How do you break down just what happened in the beginning of the game and how they presented themselves right there on the ice?
Well, we've talked all year about, is this a different Leaf team? Is this feeling, this group, this coaching staff different? I think how they came out in Game 1 might be the greatest example that are a bit different because they've struggled with prosperity in the past. High, play really well, get out of a series, and then a dud right away. And so this is the first time since 2002 that they've led a round 2 series. It's the first time since 2001 they've won Game 1s in consecutive series. So it was a long time ago. So this is an example that they are different. And I actually am most impressed, not even with the start, but the finish. Because games and series, like the first one against Ottawa, are going to go up and down, and both they stayed the course when the media started to freak out and the fans freaked out against the Senators in round 1. And in this Game 1, when they were looking like they might blow it, 4-1 leads are really tense around Leaf Nation. They stayed the course, bounced back, got an insurance goal, and saw the game out. And so I think, if anything, the start was great, but the finish and the resilience shows that maybe things might be different after all.
Maybe things might be different. Maybe. Put a little asterisk on the maybe. All of this overshadowed by what happened with starting goalie Anthony Stolarz and that hit from Sam Bennett. And there's all this controversy about whether or not it was intentional, whether or not he should have been suspended. What's your take on what had happened with that interaction?
Well, it's funny because Florida Panthers coach Paul Maurice, his take is that he's tired of people talking about it and seeing it on TV. So I hope in his hotel room in Toronto he's not watching CityNews 24/7 right now, because we're going to talk about, because it's Barrett's talking about it. And I watch a lot of Law and Order Toronto on City, and I'm not a legal expert, but what I've learned is that possession is 9/10 of the law, and that precedent matters. And when you look at people looking for discipline in this case, well, did Bennett have possession a little bit before the interaction, which gave him a right to be in the blue paint? Technically, yes. And is there a precedent here of him getting off for similar hits? There are 2 other players in this series who he's knocked out with headshots in this round, in this month. Matthew Nyes in 2023, his now teammate Brad Marchand last year. So the fact that he wasn't disciplined for those hits let me know that this somewhat accidental, on purpose, I'm a toddler, I'm just flailing, not knowing who's around me, oops, I hit my younger sibling. Let me know that that wasn't going to be something that we were going to see action for in the postseason.
Now, we've since heard from Bennett. He has said, listen, that's a former teammate of mine. I've messaged him. He's messaged me back. I didn't do this. Okay, so let's get rid of all of that now. Now we move into Game 2, and the big question is, who's going to be between the pipes there? And there might be some indication considering who was already on the ice.
Yeah, we have visuals and reports at a pregame skate that Stolarz not on the ice. Joseph Wall is in the net, that would be for said starter. Matt Murray on the ice, so we'll see him suiting up for the first time this postseason in the backup net. So that lets you know pregame skate. It's one thing if it's a player who was playing heavy minutes and not in a pregame skate because it's optional. Goaltenders, creatures of habit, are always in the pregame skate just out of their own ritual. That lets us know that he won't be in this contest. Scary things, vomited, left the ice, left the building on a stretcher, came out of the hospital, went to team breakfast yesterday and was smiling, so that is a good sign, but not good enough that he's going to be playing for the Leafs tonight.
The team has been instructed by Craig Berube. I don't want you to retaliate here. What do you anticipate will happen in this game? Because it's going to be intense no matter.
Yeah, well, as our immigrant ancestors and parents told us, how you do anything is how you do everything. And Berube might as well be one of my aunties, because he has said we got to be even keel, like the people who ran the Toronto Marathon this past weekend. Just kind of stay the course, hit those mile markers. There's been great visuals of him on the bench with his assistants that Elliot Friedman and our hockey producer Brian Spears showed us. After goals, assistants celebrating, he's like, knock it off. It's not over yet, whether it's the game, the period, or the series. And so I think he's instructed his team, the exact same. We're not going to have this vendetta over Sam Bennett, and we're going to cut off our nose to spite our face, go into the penalty box, make our backup goalie exposed when we are a player down. If we want retribution, it'll come in the handshake line at the end of the season, or at the end of the series when we've won, or at the end of the season when we've hoisted the Stanley Cup. So I don't expect, unless it is a 6-1 scoreline at the end of the game where none of it matters, I don't expect there to be any vigilante justice tonight or in this series. I think we might see it Game 32 in 2025, 2026 when the Leafs are playing on a regional night on Sportsnet and no one's paying attention.
And it's one of those remember that time.
Exactly.
This was that. This will be fun no matter. Donnovan Bennett from Sportsnet, always appreciate you breaking this down for us. It's going to be a good game.
Can't wait.
Thank you.